This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning. Welcome to our 6 o'clock hour, and welcome also to Stephanie.
Good to be here, especially on a Friday morning.
Yes.
Off to a nice start to the weekend, although the heat is coming back. What a week. I was trying to figure out this morning why I was dragging a little bit. Well, we started with a tropical storm.
Right.
And now we're ending with some very, very hot temperatures. So we're going to check in with meteorologist John Scalzi and find out just how warm it's going to get.
Hot. It's inside watching a movie, splurging on Netflix kind of stuff.
Got it.
We are looking at the kind of temperatures that take the heat index up past 100 degrees, and there's really not much relief in the way of any kind of rainfall anticipated for today. Maybe over the weekend we get a few isolated showers. Those will kind of be returning to the kind of rain showers that we have grown accustomed to in the summer in Florida, which are those that build inland and drift back to the coast, as opposed to what we've seen over the last 2 weeks, which have been exactly what they're experiencing this morning in northern Florida. Showers out in Gulf waters gradually drifting toward the coastline. Locally, not a drop of rain falling currently. Don't expect to see a whole lot today. A little bit of fair weather clouds, but that won't block the sun. Daytime high temperatures in the low 90s. We are in the dog days. We'll talk about the return of a more typical Florida pattern coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking Manatee County roads, you see a slowdown on 301 southbound as you approach State Road 70. Otherwise pretty good in Manatee County. Checking farther south now into Sarasota County. Continued issues on 41 as you cross through the Bayfront, particularly in the southbound lanes. Also, speaking of southbound, 41 southbound after you pass Clark. Bit of a congestion spot there right now. And then farther south, all clear at 6:02 on your Friday morning.
Our top story this half hour. President Trump kicked off a 7-day vacation with a campaign rally last night in West Virginia.
But still looming large questions about the ongoing investigation into possible Russian election meddling. ABC's Maggie Rowley has the latest.
We didn't win because of Russia. We won because of you.
Surrounded by thousands of supporters at his campaign rally in West Virginia, President Trump can't seem to escape Russia.
The Russia story is a total fabrication. It's just an excuse for the greatest loss in the history of American politics. That's all it is.
But in Washington, all signs point to the ongoing investigation into Russian election meddling only ramping up. The Wall Street Journal first reported, and ABC News confirms, that a grand jury has been secretly working for weeks in D.C., suggesting a new elevated phase in special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into whether President Trump or any of his associates colluded with the Kremlin. The president's personal lawyer on Fox insists there's still no indication the president is a target.
We have no reason to believe that the president's under investigation here.
The White House says they're, quote, fully committed to cooperating with the special counsel. But the president has also been trying to discredit Mueller here on Fox News in June.
I can say that the people that have been hired are all Hillary Clinton supporters. Some of them worked for Hillary Clinton. I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous if you want to know the truth from that standpoint.
Leading two senators to introduce bills protecting the special counsel's independence and make it harder for Trump to ever fire Mueller. And in another sign that Robert Mueller's investigation is expanding, the special counsel recently hired an expert on fraud and foreign bribery cases. Maggie Rowley, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump is trying to make it easier for veterans to get medical care. The president announced a new website for vets with his VA secretary yesterday. The site will allow veterans to compare wait times and quality of care at VA facilities and other hospitals. It'll also assist them in mental health care services and suicide prevention, as well as allow them to use mobile devices to make and manage VA doctor appointments.
We're expanding the ability of veterans to connect with their VA healthcare team from anywhere using mobile application on the veteran's own phone or the veteran's own computer.
This doctor's bag.
VA Secretary David Shulkin says the new programs are in addition to existing programs that provided care to more than 700,000 veterans last year. And speaking of vets, new VA clinics may be in the future of Florida. The House approved 7 new medical facilities. They'd be in Daytona Beach, Jacksonville, Ocala, Lakeland, and 2 in Gainesville. The closest one to the Suncoast would be in Tampa. 28 new medical clinics were approved overall. The new additions are part of a Veterans Health Care bill that was approved by the House last week and is now heading to the president's desk to be signed into law.
And with the president in attendance, the governor of West Virginia has announced he's switching political parties. Democratic Governor Jim Justice of West Virginia says he plans to join the GOP. He made that announcement at a rally with President Trump in Huntington last night. Trump had teased earlier in the day that there would be a very big announcement in West Virginia, a state that went heavily Republican in the 2016 elections.
Today, I will tell you with lots of prayers and lots of thinking. Today, I'll tell you as West Virginians, I can't help you anymore being a Democrat governor.
He was Republican, then Democrat, and now back to Republican. And this move will increase the advantage of Republican governors over Democrats from 34 to 15. Former White House Communications Director Anthony Scaramucci says he will not hold an online event scheduled for today. He tweeted Thursday, quote, "No press event tomorrow, focusing on family and my work in the private sector." He said he was, quote, moving forward and calling for followers to stay tuned. His brief time at the White House ended Monday after John Kelly became chief of staff.
Happening today, the newly elected Venezuelan legislative body will meet for the first time. Virtually all the new body's 545 members are supporters of the leftist leader opposition. Groups such as opposition groups, as well as supporters of the government, said they would march on Friday. More than 350 members of the new assembly were elected in votes. The remaining members were elected by people from certain social and industry groups such as students, pensioners, or workers. Look at this. Firefighters battled a high-rise residential building fire in Dubai for nearly 3 hours overnight. You can see flames growing along the side of the 84-story Torch Tower near the Dubai Marina. At last check, crews had the blaze under control after fighting the fire for over 3 hours. Officials said the building was successfully evacuated and there are no injuries. The cause of the fire is not yet known. This is the second time this building has caught fire this year.
In Florida, the wife of the Pulse nightclub shooter is planning to say she suffers from PTSD during her trial. Noor Salman is charged with obstructing an investigation and aiding and abetting her husband, Omar Mateen, the man responsible for the death of 49 people in June of 2016 in Orlando.
A follow-up now on a nearly 2-decade-old kidnapping case. A woman facing trial for kidnapping a newborn 19 years ago wants more time to work with prosecutors on a resolution. Gloria Williams appeared at a hearing in Jacksonville yesterday. Williams is set to go on trial in November for snatching Kamaya Mobley from the hospital just hours after she was born. The 51-year-old woman allegedly raised Kamaya as her own daughter and named her Alexis. Her attorney told the judge he needs more time to negotiate a plea deal with prosecutors. Anonymous tips led investigators to Williams and Mobley back in January.
The battle between the state of Florida and firefighters is heating up. Governor Rick Scott's 2015 veto of pay raises for state firefighters may end up being decided by the Florida Supreme Court. This follows the verdict by the appeals court that Scott acted within his authority. The association claims the veto violates collective bargaining rights. Should the association win, it would mean $2,000 in pay raises for firefighters.
As the start of the new school year approaches, districts are still unclear on how to handle medical marijuana on school grounds. Florida state laws and federal laws contradict each other. The issue is whether a parent or school official would administer the drug. It also calls into question the federal law that deems school zones to be drug-free zones. As for what the Manatee County School District plans to do, they say it's something that will need to be clarified as for the school year.
It would be on a case-by-case basis, but legally, at this point in time, there is a conflict, so the district is looking to the Department of Education for guidance, as well as other districts throughout the state of Florida.
It's possible that lawmakers will look at the issue during their next session. However, as far as school policy is concerned, If districts decided to change anything, it would take at least a month until anything would be implemented.
Speaking of back to school, get ready to save money and go shopping. The 3-day back to school sales tax kicks off today. The sales tax holiday, that is. And items such as clothing, shoes, and school supplies, $60 and under, will be exempt from sales taxes. The tax holiday is expected to save families more than $33 million because retailers are going to add on their own sales to get everybody in the stores. The sales tax holiday ends Sunday, August 6th. And by the way, they don't know if you have kids in school, so you too should cash in. And electronics like laptops and computers,
that's right,
$750 and under are part of it. So if you're in the market for anything, this is it.
There's some weird things on the list, though.
There are some weird things on the list.
Hunting vests are on the list. Lingerie.
Well,
tuxedos.
Well, alrighty then. Hey, listen, mom's got to do what mom's got to do to go back to school.
Get those kids out of the...
If I need some lingerie, you can all give me a bonus.
Ninja costumes on there too?
Halloween costumes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Martial arts clothes, they're on the list.
Here's my other advice. If you don't need to go shopping, don't go this weekend. It'll be packed. But it's online too. You can do this all online.
How do they do that?
I don't know, but the sales tax discount is there online.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
I'm on it.
Expert shopper over here.
That's right.
We have some pleasant weather to get out there and enjoy some of that shopping activity. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Also, still ahead, a trial route for scat buses in Englewood is coming to an end.
We'll tell you why some residents are saying the route's goal to help parking woes fell short. Stay with us.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Ever since I can remember, I've been intrigued by industrial design and the optimization.
Wait, that's passion? Ever since I can remember, my passion has been industrial design. We need 3D printers for Miss Adams' engineering program so that we are ready to solve 21st century challenges.
Impressive. Think It Up is a new initiative to support student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classroom today? Think it up.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Now's the perfect time to work with California Closets. During our Shades of White event, save up to 20% on our beautiful white finishes for any space in your home. Contact us today for your free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at an air temperature coming in warm this morning at 76 degrees. We have a dew point value of 71. The dew points are lower this morning. That's an indication that some of the drier air aloft is filtering down to the surface, and a southeast wind at about 8 will also help aid in reducing dew points, because now we have a wind that's coming in off of land as opposed to a southwest wind that generally brings in that Gulf moisture. We're looking at 75 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca, Parrish at 76, Hills, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch at 76, Northport at 77, 76 degrees in Punta Gorda. A little warmer near the coast, though. We have 78 degrees in Inglewood, Venice, and 79 along Bow Key. Across the region, you can see this drier air indicated here by these tan colorizations in our water vapor imagery, showing that drier air kind of lifting north, certainly impacting the southern tip of the state. Our area, too. That drier air is a more stable air mass, and what that does is kind of cut down on the number of showers we get. Plus, to the north of us, you'll notice a little bit of drier air trying to sneak in, too. That's behind the trough of low pressure that brought persistent heavy rains to parts of the Panhandle, Big Bend, and the northern Gulf waters. That little trough of low pressure is in the way of working out, so that dry air will limit the number of storms that they get today to the north of us. So if you are heading north on 41, driving around the Big Bend region, you'll probably see some rain showers today, but at least it won't be the kind of persistent, heavy driving rains that they've had over the last several days, so that's good news. Trough low pressure extends back toward Louisiana Delta region, but for us, we're probably going to see little in the way of any rain at any point during the day today. During the drive to work, during the drive back from work later on, it looks like it's going to be mostly dry. Now, we may catch an isolated shower in inland areas, Hardy, DeSoto, inland Charlotte, maybe an isolated shower, but that's about it. Otherwise, yesterday's rain showers that kind of formed, brought down by that trough of low pressure, really didn't do a whole lot in our areas, mostly Tampa Bay north that got impacted. We got a little bit of drizzle, a little bit of patchy rain, most of the showers dying out before they ever made it to shore. A little bit of fair weather cloudiness out there right now, but certainly not enough to block the daytime heating. We'll have plenty of sunshine as we head into the afternoon. Weather highlights show that trough of low pressure, again producing at times some stronger storms to the north of us, mostly from about Cape San Blas back to the west toward Louisiana Delta, but not nearly as many as we have seen over the last couple of days. High pressure builds in, we get more of a southeasterly wind flow, and that means a little bit of a wind shift that takes us back to those typical afternoon thunderstorms. Not the ones you get in the morning so much, but the ones you get later in the day. Couple of tropical areas that we're watching. You know, yesterday it didn't look like there was much out in the Gulf, but again, things pop up quickly, and this one back to the west off the coast of Africa has about an 80% chance of developing, so plenty of time to watch that one. It'll be an interesting storm by midweek next week if it holds together, and there's reasons to believe that it will not. But if it does, and it takes a kind of a lower trek, could become a hurricane. So we'll watch on that and, of course, update you with any developments in that system. Right now, no impact to the state of Florida at this time. Forecast for the week ahead looks dry today. Rain chances minimal Saturday and Sunday, and then back to the standard 40% afternoon thunderstorm chances next work week. Back to you.
All right, we're going to have to stay cool out there. Thank you, John. Things are pretty cool on the roadways, although we are seeing already some building volume coming south across the Green Bridge and also 301 southbound in Bradenton. I-75 looks good at this early hour, so some good news there. In Sarasota County, building volume as well on 41 as you come around the bend there at Osprey and Orange south of Sarasota. And I-75 also still looking good in Sarasota County. Watch out for some construction in the Fruitville Road area. Things looking good in South County. No accidents or delays reported this morning. It is 6:19, and a trial scat bus route in Englewood is about to come to an end.
The trial was meant to help alleviate beach parking issues, but as Christopher Brantley found out, some say it didn't work.
That scat bus route is about to take its last run soon. As we learned on Thursday, not a whole lot of people seem to know it existed.
What is needed is a more robust marketing plan.
Ed Hill is the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce in Englewood.
As well as just education of folks so they understand what's involved with taking the scat transportation to the beach.
The Chamber of Commerce suggested the bus this past January. In April, it was put into service, but it wasn't exactly popular.
I have taken the route myself, and the day that I did take it, I was the only one on the bus.
The route was a trial run. It cost $82 per hour to run. Kendra Keeterling with SCAT said it was a successful run because they learned a new route was needed.
To try and keep it more of a streamline, almost like a circulator type, to shuffle people to and from the beach.
The route officially comes to an end on August 19th. SCAT plans on bringing the route back in December, just in time for the busy season in Inglewood.
We're also looking at possibly doing some type of a park and ride near, the downtown area, near Dearborn.
The Inglewood Beach parking lot out here is a pay-to-park lot, which means you come, you pick a spot, and then you go and pay for it. When this SCAT bus route returns in December, that may be a good alternative for those drivers who don't want to pay to park. In Inglewood, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a shocking decision in a Massachusetts courtroom.
We'll tell you what controversial sentence the texting teen received for her role in her boyfriend's death. Stay with us.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Attention blood thinner users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The widely prescribed blood thinners Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to a number of dangerous side effects, including internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, stroke, brain hemorrhaging, and even death. If you or a loved one suffered any of these injuries after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference.
Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
WWSB ABC 7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC 7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
A nice shot of Sarasota Bay shaping up as daybreak is inching closer. This is the weekend of the big Sarasota Slam fishing tournament that's based at Marina Jack.
And some good news for the tournament and your weekend plans. Not a lot of rain in the forecast, according to meteorologist John Scalzi, but it's going to be a hot one. Mid-90s in some spots.
Wow.
So a lot of heat on the way. Welcome back. It is 6:24, and a Massachusetts teenager has been sentenced after a judge found that she urged her boyfriend to commit suicide through text messages.
And now, as Candace Gibson tells us, the verdict is drawing mixed reactions.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a shocking decision in a Massachusetts courtroom. 20-year-old Michelle Carter sentenced to 15 months in jail for her role in the death of her boyfriend, Conrad Roy.
And I am satisfied that she was mindful of the actions
Found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in June, her weapon? Text messages urging 18-year-old Roy to take his own life through carbon monoxide poisoning inside his pickup truck.
She manipulated and deceived his family.
But in a surprise turn, the judge granting the defense request for Carter to remain free while the state court of appeals determines whether or not to reverse the conviction.
The conviction may be reversible, but the time spent in prison is not.
For Roy's family, it brings more anguish.
We just sat in this courtroom for 3 years for what? To watch her walk away?
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll hear from the victims' family members. With your GMA First Look, I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
It's Macy's One-Day Sale Saturday with a Preview Day Friday. Sheets, 8-piece bed ensembles, and pillows only $29.99. Kitchen and dining favorites 50% off. Bedding collections and bath essentials 60% off. Macy's One-Day Sale.
Gentlemen, Beggin' Skinny Strips or Beggin' Black Label.
This too?
What a delicious dilemma. Beggin' Strips Premium Edition. With real meat as ingredient 1. Everything to your liking. Beggin' Strips Premium. Because Beggin'!
I'm lucky to get through a shift without a disaster. My bargain detergent couldn't keep up, so I switched to Tide Pods. They're super concentrated, so I get a better clean.
#1 trusted, #1 awarded. It's gotta be Tide.
Who wants 50% more calcium?
I'm not drinking that. Fine, but not out here. Dang it, so good.
Silk. Tastes like better.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
No theater lover's bucket list is complete without the classic black comedy Arsenic and Old Lace. Two adorable old ladies who just happen to poison their tenants and bury them in their basement. Fun and farcical, this hilarious play is heating up the summer at the Players Center from August 9th through the 20th. Call 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You'll die laughing when you see Arsenic and Old Lace.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Download yours today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, a local mother is out on bond accused of stealing over $7,000 from a Sarasota parent-teacher organization. We'll have reaction from the PTO president.
Plus, a man is charged with murder for selling drugs to someone who died. We'll have details.
And an update on the reopening of an iconic local night spot. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning, pretty shot there of the Rosemary District as you awaken on this Friday morning. A beautiful start to the day. Glad you're with us. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Roberts, in for Jacqueline Matter. Great to see everybody. It is 6:30 and we may have clear skies, but apparently hot temperatures are the trade-off we get with lower rain chances. Let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi and see just how hot we're talking.
Always works that day. Oh, that way, yep. Today, though, I think we'll probably see some slightly lower dew point values, too, which will make it feel a little nicer. Still, the dew points are high enough that, yeah, the feels like temperature will be up around 100 this afternoon. So if you're working out of doors, particularly you're working during the midday sun, be sure and stay hydrated because it is going to be a scorcher. Over the course of the afternoon, we'll see pretty much what we're seeing right now, which is showers to the north of us, but locally some pretty quiet conditions. I don't see much in the way of rainfall. Maybe in inland areas a little bit later on today, you might get an isolated shower, but I think near the coast, I didn't even put the rainfall in the forecast for today because the chances are so low. Daytime highs again top out in the low 90s with feels like temperatures of about 100. Take a look at the weekend forecast coming up in just a second.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads first off in Manatee County. A little build up there on 15th Street East in the northbound lane as you head back up toward 301. Otherwise, pretty clear right now in Manatee County, farther south in Sarasota. Build-ups continue along the Bayfront, 41 northbound, where it's called Mound. As you get past Fruitville, it starts to lighten up there. And then farther south in our final map, we'll see nothing much to report at 6:32 on your Friday morning.
Topping our news this morning, investigators are still trying to figure out what led to the fatal shooting of a man in the parking lot of a Bradenton business.
More on the story now from our Rick Adams.
An ordinary Thursday afternoon turned tragic. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office received reports of shots being fired. When deputies arrived on the scene, they discovered 32-year-old Melchizedek Bentoncourt dead in this car in the parking lot of a limo business. The owner of the business was out on a call when the shooting took place. He tells us that he's shocked this happened on his property.
I don't know the people. They don't know me. They don't work for me. They don't work with me. It's completely random. And when they caught the guy, so... that's good.
We're being told 36-year-old Carrie Lee Sanderson was arrested a short time after the shooting, a few blocks away outside of the Bearded Clam restaurant. Sanderson is being charged with murder.
The person who shot the person, they knew one another. We assume they did, and we're being told they did. And there was some sort of a disagreement.
The Manatee County Sheriff's Office says they are continuing with this investigation.
We found some evidence. We're not going to get into what exactly we found here, but we have found some evidence that will help us in this case.
In Bradenton, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
An area mother is facing several felony charges after police say she stole thousands of dollars from Sarasota's Southside Elementary School's parent-teacher organization. PTO volunteer Tiffany Donovan was arrested, then released on bail after investigators found that 11 checks written to the PTO had been signed by Donovan and deposited into her own account. The amount totaled over $7,000.
It was shocking and very sad. We'd hoped the outcome would be different and that there was just a bookkeeping error.
Donovan did not respond to our request for comment. She's now been banned from volunteering within the Sarasota County School District pending the outcome of this investigation.
An Englewood man is facing murder charges after deputies say he sold drugs to a man who then died from an overdose. John Michaels was arrested after an extensive investigation by the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. Back in March, detectives say a man was found dead on the side of the road in Wexford Lane in Sarasota. He had died from carfentanil. That's an opioid 10 times the strength of morphine.
It's a strong message to the community, and hopefully that the dealers see it, because the dealers aren't the addicts. The dealers are more aware of what's going on. They're just finding a way to make a profit. They don't care about the addicts. They don't care what kills people. So the message to the dealers and the traffickers is simply put in Sarasota County, if you deal it, you traffic it, it gets used and causes a death, we're going to charge you a murder.
Michaels is being held behind bars without bond.
A follow-up now in the case of a Bradenton mother accused of killing her own daughter and putting her body in a freezer. According to the Manatee County Clerk of Court's website, a plea hearing is scheduled for Keshana Thomas on August 9th. She's accused of killing her 11-year-old daughter, Janiyah. The little girl was first reported missing in September of 2015. A few months later, her body was found in a large freezer in the garage. Aside from the murder charge, she faces charges of child abuse and abuse of a dead body. She could still avoid trial by pleading guilty.
A man charged with robbing a credit union in Sarasota will spend the next 15 years in prison. 36-year-old Avery Williams pled no contest to charges earlier this week. In May, Williams reportedly robbed the Florida Central Credit Union on Cattleman Road. A dye pack hidden inside the stolen money bag exploded when he was trying to get away. Williams ran to a nearby neighborhood where residents called sheriff's deputies. Williams confessed to the crime along with a half-dozen other bank robberies in 3 states.
It is 6:35 now. Drivers heading southbound through Tampa yesterday may have experienced a serious slowdown after a major crash involving 4 vehicles. It happened around the I-75-275 junction. FHP reported a collision happened when a driver lost control and crossed the median. Here are some pictures for you. That driver collided into the front of a freight truck. That truck then hit another vehicle, which also hit a 4th vehicle. There was only 1 person injured, and that was just minor injuries. The initial driver is being cited with careless driving. By the way, you can always find out more about road closures and crashes on your phone by downloading our My Suncoast app. You'll get traffic alerts, important news updates, and weather forecast delivered directly to your phone.
A strong burst of wind injured 3 people at a pier restaurant in Cocoa Beach. Part of the roof was ripped off of that restaurant on the beach pier. Officials had to evacuate the area. 3 people were injured, but fortunately only minor injuries and treated at the scene. According to the National Weather Service, that incident was caused by a microburst, and they had winds reported between 50 and 60 miles per hour. Here on the Suncoast, new complaints are being filed by Lakewood Ranch residents about property erosion from the Braden River. Erosion has been an issue in the Summerfield Bluffs neighborhood for years. The backyards of homes off the River Bluffs Circle are sinking, and they are closer than ever to the Braden River. Lakewood Ranch says it's taking a look at what it can do to help, including reaching out to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Well, the board does want the residents to know that they're looking into this, that they are concerned, and depending on what they're allowed through the special purpose government jurisdictions they have, they'll try and help as they can.
At least a half-dozen homes are being affected by the erosion. Have you ever wondered how much trash people throw away that actually could be recycled? Well, Sarasota County government does, and they decided to test the trash bins at Bayfront Park to see how well we're doing with recycling. Well, the results are alarming. 49%, nearly half of the contents of the trash cans are recyclable, and it's not happening. It includes plastic bottles, soda cans, paper, plastic bags. So this new information will be used to explore the possibility of launching a pilot program to educate park users more about recycling.
A follow-up now on lionfish hunting here in Florida. Fishermen still have another month to catch as many lionfish as they can to win prizes as part of the Lionfish Challenge. The exotic fish was first spotted in Florida waters about 30 years ago, and their growth is now out of control. The goal of the tournament is to remove as many of the invasive species as possible. Florida Fish and Wildlife says the fish are edible, and there's no limit on how many you can catch.
This is a species that, has been the most successful non-native invasive species in our marine environment in terms of the numbers just continue to grow. There's nothing that's really seeming to keep the population in check.
So far, more than 5,000 lionfish have been removed. The challenge runs through Labor Day.
The Southeastern Guide Dogs is now accepting votes for your favorite dog sculpture. Have you seen them around town? They're in Sarasota, Tampa, and St. Petersburg, and each dog sculpture is sponsored by a different local business or organization. So for $1 per vote, you get to pick your favorite pooch, and all that money goes towards Southeastern Guide Dogs and its mission to support the real superheroes who are their service dogs. To cast your vote, you want to visit Superheroes on Parade Suncoast.dog, and that voting ends September 29th. And we're, of course, proud to be raising a Southeastern guide dog here at ABC 7.
That's right, Wrigley. A once popular local night spot will soon be reopening. The iconic live music venue and drinking destination will reopen this weekend. Steve and Mike Evanhoff, the father and son team behind the local Evie's restaurant, purchased the 5 o'clock club at 1930 Hillview last month. The club first opened back in 1955 as a blues bar, but soon included reggae, rock and roll, and everything in between. Nice to have that little old Florida charm back on Hillview.
Yes, and everybody's very excited that the Evie's group is behind this, that, you know, they run great operations.
They do well, yeah.
This is a real good chance to make a difference, and I know we've talked about it a lot on Suncoast View. Everybody wants younger bands to come in so that we can encourage the younger crowd.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, I think that organization traditionally has been very supportive of Grammy Award-winning musicians across the Suncoast. You get really top-notch, high-level talent. So it'd be nice to see some younger bands highlighted as well.
We need more live music spots like that. So I'm glad it's coming back.
Yeah. Good stuff. We have some good weather as well shaping up for the weekend. Talk about that in a second.
And still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, chronic fatigue syndrome. It's a medical condition that leaves doctors puzzled.
We'll tell you how a new study hopes to shed light on this disease. Stay with us.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetzy. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So as we look across the region, we'll find lower dew points than we've seen over the last 24 hours, and that is bringing some very pleasant weather to most of the Suncoast. Dew point values, but temperatures are still high at 76 degrees, so there's a good spread between temperature and dew point. What that does when you get that nice big spread between the temperature and the dew point value is bring us a low relative humidity. We're at 85% right now. Oftentimes during the morning hours in summer, We have dew point values and temperatures that were within a couple of degrees of each other, so we get a 95% relative humidity. So this feels pretty good out there right now. East-southeast wind comes in at about 8. We'll watch it shift a little more southwest in the afternoon as the sea breeze begins to build locally. 74 degrees Wauchula, 75 Arcadia, 75 in Myakka Parish, Bradenton, both at 75. Lakewood Ranch at 76, so's Northport and Punta Gorda. 78 in Venice, Inglewood, 79 Longboat Key. Across the region, this drier air indicated by the tan contour filtering in has kind of reduced our rainfall chances today. That dry air is a very stable, stabilizing influence in the atmosphere. And while that's there, I think our rain chances are going to be minimal, 20% or less. And today, they'll probably be less, much less. A little bit of rain shower activity to the north of us. That's where a trough of low pressure is still located. It's been there for days now. That trough will be lifting out over the weekend, but still encouraging a few showers around. We have some drier air from the north that has sunk a little bit further to the south, so that has helped to limit the number of storms that section of the Florida Peninsula and the Big Bend region sees today. But still, they'll be around, not nearly like the inundating heavy rains they've seen over the last several days, though. Across our region, it's quiet for your morning commute. Don't expect to see much developing. Yesterday, we had a few showers out in Gulf waters, but they kind of dissipated before ever making it on shore. For the most part, there are a few light sprinkles and a couple of showers around, but nothing really significant. A lot of cloud cover to the north of us, a little bit of cloud cover over us. The cloud cover over us will eventually just mix away, leaving us with mostly sunny skies, and I think plenty of sunshine to help boost our temperatures today into the low 90s. There's our trough of low pressure kind of lifting off eventually, high pressure building in. That high pressure ridge building in provides, again, that kind of stabilizing influence and a southeasterly wind flow as well. That shift in the winds out of the southeast this weekend means that our thunderstorm pattern kind of returns to what is typical for this time of year. That is, most of the day spent sunny or partly cloudy, and then as you head into the late afternoon, you get those showers that build in inland areas and then drift back to the coast as they die out. We're familiar with that. That happens most of the time during the summer in Florida, and that's where we'll be headed as we go into the weekend. But with that big high in the drier air, even with that southeasterly wind, our rain chances will be lower than average for both Saturday and Sunday. They will return to about average starting on Monday and kind of linger there right straight into the next work week. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, John. We are looking at dry conditions and clear skies this morning, as John mentioned, and that's good for the morning commute. No big problems. Bridges in Palmetto look good. Things look good on I-75. A little bit of volume there getting on the expressway at 301 in Ellington. As you head down into Sarasota County, 41's been a little bit busy all morning long. We're seeing that around the Curve and Mound, and we're also seeing that southbound past Southgate Mall. I-75, though, accident and delay free. No big problems reported even in South County. At 6:47 in this hour's Health Smart, a new study is shedding some light on something that's always been a little bit mysterious.
Yeah, the Centers for Disease Control estimates chronic fatigue syndrome affects nearly 1 million Americans. A study found people with that syndrome had substantially higher levels of cytokines. Those are substances from the immune system. Researchers found that the higher the levels of certain pro-inflammatory cytokines, the more severe the symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. Researchers suggest there is a link between excess inflammation and the disease.
The first known attempt at creating genetically modified human embryos in the United States has been reported using a gene editing technique called CRISPR. Scientists say they have corrected a gene mutation linked to inherited heart conditions in human embryos. A study demonstrating that technique was published in the journal Nature. A co-author of the study described it as the first in the world to demonstrate gene editing to be safe, accurate, and efficient. Although there are still some moral concerns with this, this could, in the distant future, help couples with genetically inherited diseases have babies without the risk of passing those problems on.
Amazing technology.
Absolutely. Needs to be used carefully, though.
Yes.
At 6:49 in entertainment news, one of the outlaw dukes from the Dukes of Hazzard TV series is now in actual trouble with the law.
Yes, he is. Actor Tom Wopat was arrested in the Massachusetts area for indecent assault and battery, as well as cocaine possession. The arrest stemmed from an incident where the actor allegedly groped a female colleague. Police initially arrested Wopat when they found bags of cocaine in the actor's vehicle. He reportedly pleaded not guilty to all charges and was released on $1,000 bail.
Police say Justin Bieber will not be charged for accidentally hitting a celebrity photographer with his pickup truck last month. Investigators determined there were no violations by either Bieber or the photographer, so no citations will be issued. Police said Bieber was cooperative after the incident. It occurred just days after Bieber canceled his Purpose World Tour before wrapping it up with performances in Asia. The singer wrote a lengthy Instagram post saying he was grateful to his fans, but he needed his life and career to be sustainable.
Interesting word.
Yeah, sustainable. Just
that
needs
mean?
a break. We're all trying to sustain it here.
Aren't we all? That's right. 10 to 7 right now. Still ahead, we'll have your day's top local news headlines and
thousands of rubber ducks packed in a river. We'll tell you how they're all for a good cause in Chicago.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
If you're thinking about replacing your windows, what matters most to you? We found what matters is high performance. Our customers want energy-efficient windows built for Florida weather. Windows that can stand everything from scorching sun to hurricanes. Our customers want windows that reflect their life, their lifestyle. Windows that will last a lifetime. We listen to our customers, and as a result, we're growing. So if you're looking to replace your windows, stop here at New South Window.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, Eye Comfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Start your day with Ray, Jacqueline, and John, the new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
At 6:53 this morning, we are off to a gorgeous start here on the Sarasota Bayfront. Winds are very, very light. A nice quiet start to the day. And Ray, you mentioned the fishing tournament this weekend. Looks like nice conditions.
Yeah, the big Sarasota Slam, sponsored by the local business association. So it should be a good weekend, a good fundraiser for them, and starts today and goes through the weekend.
And the heat is on the way as well. It is 6:54, and we are following the stories on the Suncoast for you today.
Big one here. A Sarasota mother has been released on bail one day after police say she stole $7,000 from the PTO fund at Southside Elementary School. Tiffany Donovan, charged with 11 counts of uttering a forged check and 1 count of scheming to defraud. She worked for Sarasota Magazine.
Plus, an Englewood man is facing a murder charge after selling drugs to a man who then died of an overdose in Sarasota. John Michaels allegedly gave the victim the opiate carfentanil. That is 10,000 times more potent than morphine.
And just a week after shutting down, new owners will reopen the 5 O'Clock Club. The old Florida nightclub on Hillview was purchased by the family that runs the local Evie's restaurant chain.
Off to a nice start in the roadways this morning. Really pretty quiet across Manatee County. I-75, 301, 41, north and southbound moving well. Sarasota's not reporting any major problems either, though we are starting to see some building volume across University Parkway. But Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark look good. And all into South County, it is all clear. How does the weekend look, John?
Well, here we are on Friday, and it's looking pretty good, actually. Today, a little chance of rainfall. Daytime highs, of course, will respond because of all the heating up into the low 90s with a feels like of about 100. But it's the dog days. That's what we would expect. Over the course of the weekend, a less than average rain chance, but there will be a few showers around. The nature of those showers changes, though. They go back to what we would expect at this time of year. Building inland, drifting to the coast, late in the day. That pattern holds true for the work week, too.
All right, thank you, John. Finally, it's not bath time, but tens of thousands of rubber ducks are being dumped into the Chicago River. There they go. Look like oranges. The army of yellow birds dumped into the water for Chicago's 12th annual Windy City Rubber Ducky Derby. About 60,000 ducklings fell into the river, racing toward the finish line. The Derby benefits the Special Olympics of Illinois.
And we do something similar in Bradenton on the Manatee River.
Yeah, I've seen that all over the place. It's such an easy way to have fun and also raise money. You know?
Absolutely. Get people out and about.
Whichever duck waddles toward the finish line first, whoever owns that duck wins.
Right, and you sponsor them for a charity. So it's a good thing.
And I guess they must have a way to get all those ducks back out of the water.
Yeah, I'm sure they figure it out.
I'm sure they figure that out.
That's a good question.
All right, stick around. Good Morning America is coming up next.
Enjoy your Friday, folks.